I think maybe we'll try our hand at putting together an electrolysis tank, and maybe try doing a little electrolysis cleaning on that, see if it brightens it up any. So I'll get some rags and we'll get back to it. Okay, first off, I think we'll go ahead and kind of touch up these where the brushes are, where they ride here, where their contact are. So I'm just kind of lightly cleaning, if you can see this. Just kind of got my scribe. I'm not really doing a whole lot of pressure, just making sure there's like no bits of brush or crud that's going to damage those brushes at all. So we'll kind of clean out from in between there. It's not too bad. There's looks like a little bit of sawdust or something in there. So, and then I've got this little bit of emery paper. It's I believe 400 grit, and we'll just kind of wrap that around and polish them up just a little bit. Shouldn't take very much. Yeah, see, those are cleaning up nice. Let me rip this in half. Then I can hold that like that. And just spin that around like that. Oh yeah, those cleaned up nice. I don't see where it was grooved at all. So we'll okay. Now I'm going to take that brush. I'm going to flip my paper over and put it around there. And I'm just going to, you can kind of see the concave in that brush face. And I'm just going to kind of clean that brush face up a little bit. Don't want to go too much. Just kind of making sure there's no debris on the face there where they make contact. Yeah, cleaned up nice. We'll go ahead and a little fresh spot of belt there. We'll just run that back and forth. Yeah, just take a little bit off. But where they were really arcing bad, I want to give it every chance that it's got to make a good contact in there. And like I can go to that motor company. I think I put it in my favorites on my computer. And brushes, they still have these brushes, and they're about $6 a set, $7 a set, so that's not too bad. Other than I gotta order something else, so maybe get 2 sets of brushes. But if those are the original brushes, I'm thinking this drill is, now the serial number is 16K. You know, is that, you know, 16,000? Is it that 16,000th drill? I don't know. You know, so maybe it's in the 60s. You know, yeah, it might be in the 50s, but if those are the original brushes, they've sure lasted a long time. Okay, we'll go ahead and wipe this off so we don't have no grit getting down in the rest of the motor. Wiping that off. Okay. So that part of the motor, I believe, is done. All right, where do we go to next? Let's try this transmission here. We'll make sure everything's, all the kerosene that might be left on it is cleaned off. Make sure there's no I heard something land. Yep, we got a washer's took off on me here. Oh, there it is. Little shim there, it looks like. Yeah. Little shim goes right in here. Set that in there. Okay, and I got the grease. I'm going to put this back together with extreme pressure premium grease. It says it's good for industrial, farms, automotive applications, and motor bearings, chassis fitting, pump bearings, and U-joints. So I think that sounds like it's good enough to put this drill back together with. It was the only kind of grease they had up at the parts house that had anything to do with motors or electric drills or anything like that. So we'll pop the bottom off of that. Kind of a red grease here. Just a little acid brush. We'll gob right here in the and we'll just kind of put a light coating on this stuff, just to kind of like an assembly grease, just so this isn't running dry. Stick that in there. Okay. Looks pretty good. Those are all nice and clean. And we'll just put a little dab of that right there. That one slips right in there like that. Go ahead and put a little bit of that on them shafts there. Getting grease all over everything here. Pretty stringy stuff. But, you know, you're going to want it to stay. You don't want it all to flip off and where it's not going to do you much good on your part. So there's that. Nice and free. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and we'll put a little bit down this hole here. Put this spacer on. A little spring with the ends going down. We'll put the little washer on like that. Okay, and then that fits right in there. Line it up. So that's that. Okay, that's looking good. Everything's nice and free. We'll set that off up there. We'll lay this rag out here because I think things are going to start getting greasy. Okay, now we're going to take a little bit of that and kind of dab it on the gears here a little bit. Just give it a little bit of lube so it's not running dry against itself. That thing says it turns at 2,000 RPM. And I mean, look how that thing's gear reduced down. So I wonder how fast that motor is really traveling. All right. So that's all greased up. We'll go ahead and slide these little washers on the back. Make sure you still can see what I'm doing here. A little bronze bushing here on the back. I don't want to get too much of this in there because it's up close to that brush face and I don't want that grease slipping on there. But so there's that. Now we get the bottom. Get this up just a little bit so you can see what's going on. All right, that's good. All right, let's see if I can find a knife or a putty knife or something here that I can scoop that grease out with. I might just have to use my finger. So we'll go ahead and take some of this grease, and this whole area here was right full of grease. I probably got out half a cup of grease that was in here. So we're going to put a little more back in. So that's about how much was in there if I remember right. So we'll go ahead and get that cleaned off the hands so we're not getting everything too greasy. Okay, and we'll just set that. Ball goes in there. Those other brass fit down in there. Oh, better put the other half of the motor on. We can just lift that up. Get that out of there. And that just slides right over it. Put the bearing down in there. Motor drops down. Seats in there. All looks good. Everything seems to be turning free. There's the grease coming around from the bottom side. Yeah, it looks good. Gonna wipe up our mating surface here. Get all squoze out. All right, that's looking nice. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and put those brushes on. Let me see if I can get you zoomed in here and show you how those fit.